Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss an important topic relating to the latest case of Arnab Goswami. The point is whether the accused can ask for or can seek for transfer of the case to transfer of the investigation to other agency like CBI. Whether the accused can ask the transfer of the case to other investigation agency like CBI. This is the topic for today because Arnab Goswami asked it. If we go into the previous happenings, we know that on 16/4/2020, three sadhus, they were attacked by tribals and they were killed. Actually, in the view of Goswami, they were lynched to death in the presence of the police also. The police also could not do anything. Therefore, so he has held a debate over the issue on 21/4/2020, where he made certain derogatory statements against the Congress leader Sonia Gandhi, pronouncing her name as Italian name, and that she will inform the country of Italy that their people have done this thing, all these things, some defamatory in the view of the Congress people. So this has raised so much objection. Actually, it has become a commotive issue, and many people, they have filed FIRs against the so-called Arnab Ranjan Goswami. Right, in almost states like Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, Jammu Kashmir, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, where the Congress government is in power, most of the people, they gave the complaints and FIRs have been registered. Therefore, of course, another incident also took place in case of Arnab Goswami. On 23rd night, while around 12:45 or 1 a.m., while he was coming back from the studio along with the wife, Samya Brata Goswami, who is the director for another TV, that is R Bharat. This is Republic TV, R Bharat, that is a Hindi TV. So both of them were coming. While they were reaching home, some two people wrongfully restrained them. They passed near the that lamp of side mirror of the car of Mr. Goswami, and they actually sprinkled the ink on the car and did some nonsense, and they threatened him, all these things. Immediately, the security staff of Arnab Goswami caught them and handed over them in the nearby NM Joshi police station, and a case has been registered under section 341 and 504 IPC against those two persons. After they were arrested and let off. So two incidents. One is against Goswami and the complaint filed by the security guard of Goswami. Two cases are there. Right. So as regards the cases against Arnab Goswami, so in so many places they are given, particularly one Mr. A minister of education, I think he is a doctor, his name is, I will tell you, he has given the FIR. Dr. Nitin Krishnakant Raut. Nitin Krishnakant Raut is a Minister of Education and also President of the Congress Party of Maharashtra State. He gave the FIR. It was in Nagpur. So many FIRs were registered immediately. On 24th, the so-called Arnab Goswami filed a petition before the Supreme Court of India, and through stalwarts like former Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi and Harish Salve. On these people appeared on behalf of the Maharashtra State, Kapil Sibal, Rajasthan, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, all the stalwarts of Congress people, all of them through virtual recording or video recording, they have attended. Ultimately, the Honorable Supreme Court of India, which took it as the first case on that particular, on 24th, of course, it has granted a blanket stay for all the FIRs except the FIR by the so-called Krishnakant Raut. So, this minister, and there is another point also. This FIR was ordered to be transferred to NM Joshi police station, that is to Bombay, where the so-called Goswami is available so that the investigation may be quickly completed. And for which even Kapil Sibal on behalf of Maharashtra, he also agreed for the same. Now, the FIR is crime number 238 by 2020, of course renumbered as 164 by 2020, registered in different sections 153, 153A, 295A, 298, 500, 504 class 2 and 506 IPC, read with 120B and 117 of the IPC. Of course, all these things, all these sections are there. So since it is having the video clubs and so-called so much of evidence part is also enclosed, then this FIR was transferred to NM Joshi Mart police station. Now, at that time, the Supreme Court ordered to keep abeyance all the FIRs and investigation in this particular 238 by 164 to be continued. And second point, 3 weeks stay was given and the police were asked not to harass him, not to arrest him, and in the meantime, he was advised to go to the appropriate court or forum to get anticipatory bail or whatever way he likes. Then the Supreme Court also directed the City Police Commissioner of Mumbai to provide security to his office as well as to the Republic TV. So on 24th, this much of order was given, some relief was given to Arnab Goswami. Things started. Now we have to discuss after the aftermath, what happened later. So on 25th or so, some police officer came and asked him to attend before the NM Joshi police station for inquiry. Mr. Arnab Goswami refused and said he will appear through video conferencing. So the man went and informed the police station. Ultimately, the DCP Abhinash Kumar, he has sent a notice once again on 26th asking Mr. Arnab Goswami to come physically and be present before the police station. So on 27th, he appeared before the police station and he has a long questioning for 12 hours without break, and even his mobile was kept aside, his fitness band was not, it was also kept aside. He was asked so many questions relating to his company and his directorship, whether he is a proxy owner, all these things. He has been put to so much of course, embarrassment, so many questions he has put, and he has asked as to why he should name Sonia Gandhi, all these things, and whether he is sending any intimation to the party, that is central government, newspaper clips, whether he is sending them to central government, all these things he was asked, for which he replied, of course, in a negative manner. Whatever he knows, he has cooperated with the investigation. But he observed or he claims displeasure over the way he was treated, over the way the investigation was made, over the way the interrogation was made. So he says that it is nothing but an unsubstantiated allegation. So because he has got the freedom of speech, he is a press man. Under Article 19(1)(a), he can talk. Of course, he is free to express his opinions. But he was put to so much of questions, and the investigation is tardy. So definitely, in his view, the FIRs are based on the stealth of the INC or affiliated states, and he was actually, even though he was attacked on the night of 23rd, they were simply let off. The accuser was simply let off, and no plausible investigation was made from that side, and he is only becoming a target in the eyes of the so-called Mumbai police. Right. Therefore, so of course, on 27th it happened. On 28th, he held another talk show on the Republic TV, and in that Puchta Hai Bharat, he has castigated allegations against the City Commissioner of Mumbai, and stating that he is involved, that Mumbai Commissioner is involved in a scam of India Bulls, all these things. Once again, he lost tongue, right? Okay. On 30th, they called his CFO, that is Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Sundaram. He was asked to come to the NM Joshi police station. He was given notice under section 91 and 160 CRPC. 160 means you may be knowing as a witness. 91 means produce the documents. Of course, he was asked to produce the documents about the license system, all these things. After he attended the police station, he was asked about the how do you get the broadcasting license, who are the directors, what is the financial position, how the finances are being distributed, what are the salaries, what is the role played by the wife of Arnab Goswami, all these things. They have asked him. He was interrogated for about 6.5 hours, right? So this is also definitely this has put this man was in embarrassing position, and the main point is now he is telling that the person who was associated with the interrogation of Sundaram, he was tested COVID positive, and all the police officers of NMGC police station, they are also being taken to that home quarantine, or they may be tested for the so-called COVID-19, and therefore he is under the impression that the CFO may also get the so-called positive of COVID-19. Therefore, he is afraid. So, keeping all these points in view, normally now Mr. Arnab Goswami he has come before the Honorable Court once again, requesting the Honorable Court to quash the FIRs against him, to stay the FIRs against him, and at least to transfer the case to the CBI for, of course, for a fair investigation. So he has made this prayer under Article 32 of the Constitution of India. Now the Supreme Court found fault with him. What is the necessity of for 32 invoking the provisions of Article 32? Article 32 means when the rights of a person are violated, when there is a violation to the fundamental rights of an individual. Here, registering a case is a statute right under section 154 CRPC. Conduct investigation under 157, 160 till 173 they can do whatever types of investigation they want. Definitely the police can conduct the investigation. Of course, during the course of investigation, if anything defamatory comes, section 499 can be used. But when the affidavit filed by the DCP Avinash Kumar, the court came to the conclusion that the questions put to him were in a correct manner, were in an investigative purpose, and no extra things have been asked from him. He was subjected in a decent manner. Of course, it's the duty of the police to elicit the truth. No doubt they may be asking so many different other questions, but he was not subject to humiliation. He was not defamed. He was put to so much of questions. Of course, because it is necessary, they have kept him in the police station for 12 hours, but they did not ill-treat him. They did not use any coercive steps. The investigation is not modified. That is the observations made by the Supreme Court. So they have relied. Even Kapil Sibal stated that Mr. Chidambaram, who worked as Union Finance Minister, he has to go to the CBI. He has to be subjected for so much of interrogation for days together. So what great man this Arnab Goswami is. Are the heavens going to fall down if Arnab Goswami is questioned for one more day? So he has to cooperate with the investigation. He should not think that the investigation should be conducted in a manner he likes. Of course, he may be under the impression that the police are one-sided, biased, they are supporting the party in power, all these things. But unless the investigation discloses any fact, then the court will not interfere. So this was clearly stated by the Supreme Court, even in the case of Chidambaram versus India, and they have cited another beautiful case, Romila Thapar versus India, and KK Antony versus State of Kerala. All these cases, they have ultimately, what they have stated is finally, so the FIR investigation in 238 Public 164 should be continued. Second, the other FIRs will be stayed. And third is no question of getting a CBI investigation. It is almost rare of the rare cases, that too in the intention of the Supreme Court or High Court only it should come. The accused person cannot ask for this thing. Ultimately, if he want to quash, he can go for 482 CRPC. If he wanted to transfer the university to some other, he has to approach under 406 CRPC. And all the legal measures are there. He doesn't want to utilize the constitutional framework. Therefore, they have refused. Ultimately, lastly, they have given another 3 weeks time for him to go to the court and get bail. So this is the case. Please remember, this is an important case, and for case study this will be very useful. Therefore, please remember this case law, Arnab Ranjan Goswami versus Union of India. It will become a famous case definitely. Please remember, the accused cannot ask the court to transfer the investigation to CBI. Not only they will try. Of course, the court should think that definitely there is miscarriage of justice, then they can do it. It happened in 1967 when Mr. M.G. Ramchandran was the CM. I think in 1967 he is attacked by his co-actor Mr. M.R. Radha. So incidentally, after this, both of them survived, and he was in jail. M.R. Radha was in jail, and incidentally, the party DMK party, which was supported by MGR, Dr. MGR, he came out successful. And at that time, M.R. Radha approached the Supreme Court, stating that since the party in power is belonging to M.G. Ramchandran, so justice may not be done to him. At that time, the then CM, great people, CM Anagarai, he has from Nedunjali, and I think CM Anagarai and Education Minister Nedunjali, both of them assured that no such force will be applied. The court will take its own decision, that's all. So with that, he has withdrawn his petition for transfer of the case to Kerala State. And of course, eventually he was convicted based on the sole evidence of that KK Vasu, who was the eyewitness in that part. He was also one of the producers. He was there, of course, for 7 years or so. M.R. Radha was convicted. 3 years he was in jail. I think for unpardoning or thing, he came out and died later. So please remember, the accused, no doubt, whatever it is, you have to follow the provision of CRPC 406, 408 for the sessions cases. Normally, we file petitions for the transfer of cases stating that the accused is an old person, he cannot move to Hyderabad each and every time, a lot of money is getting wasted. So like that, we will filing on 408 CRPC. For that, he can file. If not, 482 CRPC, passing the FIRs or stay of the FIRs. How can he go to the court under section 32 of the Constitution? The Supreme Court taught him a good lesson. Anyway, please read the judgment carefully, and definitely you will be looking into so many legal concepts with Arnab Goswami's case. Thank you.